What's up, tutors? This is Josh again, just coming at you. Once again, we're in an undisclosed location. Eddie still hasn't found me, thank God. But I wanted to talk to you guys again today about hope. If you heard my other podcast, I talked about the woman with an issue of blood and how hope made her go through a crowd of people and obstacles in her life. But today, when we talk about hope, I want to talk to you about Joseph. Now, a lot of you might have heard about Joseph and his coat of many colors and how it was a sweet coat. But there's a lot about Joseph that we don't talk about all those years where things didn't go so good for him. He got sold into slavery by his brothers. He got accused of something he didn't do by a married man's wife. He got thrown into jail. He had somebody who promised to get him out of jail that didn't. So for a lot of years, Joseph's life was really, really rough. It seemed like every time he did something good, something bad would happen. And this whole time he was doing this, he was staying true to God. He wasn't going to compromise. He wasn't going to do anything that hurt his relationship with God. But it still didn't matter because what was going on was it seemed like life just kept punching him right in the face. Now, if I was in Joseph's spot, I'd probably get discouraged. When you're living a good life and you're serving the Lord, and every time you do something, it seems like life just kind of comes along and says, no breaks for you. But here's the thing. Joseph had a hope. And Joseph's hope was, when he was younger, God gave him a dream that he would be a kind of person that would make a difference in this world. And he told everybody he knew, and everybody kind of laughed at him because he was young. And here's the thing. I think that one dream, that one moment that God gave him kept him going through all those years where things were going bad for him, where he's in prison, nobody likes him, nobody wants to be around him. Those are the moments that get you through, those moments of hope of what God has promised you. Because here's the thing about hope, guys. Hope tells you about the future. God has given us a future that, even though we can't see it, in another way, it's a reality. If we can't see it, it's not here yet. But if God says it's going to happen, it's already a reality. And when we hear that, that lets us react and act differently now. That means if God's giving you a word or God's told you something, then that means everything you do now is in a response to that. It means you have a goal, you have something God's going to give or do for you. He's given you a path. That means every day you move towards that. It's not just something distant. It's a reality that's with you. And that's how Joseph lived his life. Every day was another day that he had a hope of what was going to happen. And after years of being in jail and being lied about, he got his opportunity, and God pulled him through. And God made him one of the most powerful men in the world. And those brothers that threw him in prison and sold him to slavery, and all those people that did Joseph wrong, they realized what kind of person Joseph was because God put him in a power position. So what happened? God gave Joseph hope for a better day, a day where he would be the person that God told him he was going to be. And it may have taken a while, but guess what? It did happen. So I want to encourage you guys, if God's given you something, or you have a dream that God's given you, just in case it doesn't happen tomorrow, it might happen a few years down the road. But don't get discouraged. Be the person God has called you to be, even if he's not called you to be that until years down the road. Every day you have is another opportunity to do what God wants you to do and be the person God wants you to be. So for now, that's everything here from Josh here in the altitude cave hiding out from Eddie. So you guys stay cool and make a difference in your world. Talk to you later.